Hi, this is Gary LaRude from Microwave Journal. I'm at the 2018 International Microwave Symposium in Philadelphia, here with Greg Peloquin, who's the president of Richardson Electronics. Greg, good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Gary.
So we were talking a little bit about Qorvo and your representation of Qorvo. Can you tell us a little bit about Richardson Electronics and how you're extending Qorvo's reach in the market?
Yeah, there's a number of ways that we extend Qorvo's reach. There's an old saying that a distributor or a rep is an extension of the sales company's sales department, but really we're an extension of our customers' engineering departments. And that capability allows us to help Qorvo introduce their numerous new technologies and new products into new markets. And then Richardson's been around 70 years, and we've always been an RF and microwave company. So we have a huge customer base on a global basis that we can bring new products to market to. That's really what we offer Qorvo, the ability to bring new products to market. We're a focused demand creation company, although we have all the logistics and supply chain capabilities of any other company, but really it's to grow that tier 2 customer base where they have to win at the Nokias, etc. There's a whole list of customers that are going to be the next Nokia or supporting Nokia that we're able to support through a global network of, and they're very hard to find, RF engineers that do design in, but also sell and work with the project managers, etc. And so all that together, along with a great history in the power transistor world, bringing those products to market. We did it for Motorola back in the 90s when they introduced LDMOS. The same strategy, same way of going to market. We grew that to over $100 million just in LDMOS power transistors. And of course, the 3G and 4G rollouts helped. And then we have global sales offices in every country in the world. We have 27 separate entities. We have warehouses throughout the world that we can ship product in between or directly to customers in 1 to 3 days. So it's a really unique model. It's a very focused model. And Qorvo signed us for the second time 2.5 years ago, and it was to help them bring this GaN technology to market. So, and we're doing a great job with them so far.
Yeah. So kind of speaking about that, Qorvo has a very broad product portfolio. They're in a lot of different markets. So from your perspective, where are you kind of seeing the most interest from a product standpoint and the most market interest?
Yeah, obviously their background and there's so much experience from the Triquint days, if you will, in the defense and military market. They have some great GaN L-band products that we're seeing huge acceptance for based on that. But now with GaN technology kind of getting that price range and their experience with it and this 5G rollout, we're seeing a number of major opportunities in the 5G space. Right now, with the rollout with test equipment manufacturers to test the 5G systems. But then, Richardson has about 70 years of tube technology. We still do close to $50 million in RF and microwave tubes.
Interesting.
As Qorvo comes in, these industrial applications like high temperature ovens, drying, anything high power that used to use a tube or a magnetron, this GaN technology is back to being able to support that. So as these people want to go to solid state, we're there for them right now with, in some cases, 30, 40 years of history with the customer. LDMOS, great product, but at above 3.5 gigahertz, they struggle a little bit to support the high data rates and everything like that when you get up to the 28 gigahertz, etc. for 5G. And so we really think GaN's the home run, and we really see Qorvo being a leader in that.
So we saw within the last month or so, Qorvo released a 1.8 kilowatt GaN power transistor for the avionics band around 1 gigahertz. So you mentioned some of the applications and the trade-off between tube and solid state. Where are you kind of seeing a lot of the GaN opportunities come up?
Yeah, so in the past 2.5 years, really with that large military defense communication market with passive components and active, that's where most of our traction has been. As we monitor, we see China kind of being the lead. They want to get their 5G out, in the end of this summer. We see AT&T, et cetera, announce that maybe the end of this year they're going to roll out. And we're seeing the GaN technology and pricing and capabilities being able to support this big problem that they have with 5G in terms of the data and frequency and everything else. And then with that, we'll call it legacy business, again, with industrial heating, and we have two major opportunities going on with these microwave ovens, both for commercial use and industrial use. We're very excited. We should be able to double the business this year with Qorvo on those three applications. Now, that's always been our model. We work with the big equipment, infrastructure, defense, industrial. The mobile market, the small signal market, has always been a little bit smaller for us because of the way we're structured and the people we have. And so that infrastructure market is really where we've been successful, and we'll continue doing that.
So you've mentioned 5G a couple times. We hear a lot of press releases from the Ericssons of the world, the Nokias, about field trials. We know from companies like Keysight and National Instruments that they're doing a lot of support with their test equipment, but it's not really clear kind of that middle tier component level, what's going on in 5G. So what's your view of that? Yeah,
5G is on. It's on. A very large customer base of tier 2 suppliers that are supporting the larger, what I'll call direct accounts. Obviously, ZTE and Huawei and wherever that's going to go. But there's still a second tier customer base in North America and Europe and China that we're supporting. Right now, we're seeing the most activity on the test equipment side. We have some major design wins with Qorvo on the products to test the equipment, because that has to all be redone. The frequency levels, the data traffic, all of that test equipment's going to have to be redone. They can take 4G infrastructure and kind of grow it or add to it or enhance it, but on the testing of it, it's all new, and they're trying to get that right, because you can't put it into production if you can't test it. And so that's really what we're focused on now. But the infrastructure of 5G, but then the antennas, the MIMO backhaul, all of those are really becoming active. We're sampling a lot of customers, and so it's not, as one old saying, I hate to say it, but it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And there's not another company in the world, from a component point of view, that has all that experience on the defensive side at this frequency than Qorvo. So we really think they're going to be very successful, and you see it with these new products that were based on technology at 28 gig up to 60 gig for defense applications that they can now use to build and test at the component level to support 5G.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about your age, but you have seen several waves of defense cycles and commercial cycles. What's your sense of the market outlook going forward now?
Well, I've only been in this industry for 4 years, so, but the guys in the locker room are talking about the fact that it is very cyclical. What we've seen right now, also on the industrial side, of course, is the wafer fab market. With 5G, China's building out wafer fabs, so you see companies like Lam and MKS and AMAT developing this wafer fab cycle. We think that's going to go a little bit longer, and we think GaN's going to help support that. On the other side of it, magnetron's pretty much at the high level of TWTs. Again, the products that Qorvo's introducing will help support that as these people want to go to solid state as the price comes down and the technology supports it. So, our government's invested a lot of money on the defensive side. We think there's going to be a lot of upgrades. So we're kind of seeing that because our two-base technology, they want to upgrade it with solid state. So we're right there again, like I said, with these relationships. So we see that on the defensive side. And then on the industrial side, this RF energy management, I'll call it. Again, I think it's going to look at GaN to help them do that, from heating to RF energy and that whole, save the world type mentality of these governments worldwide. And then 5G, I think the cycle is, China's going to introduce it, their version of it this calendar year, and I don't know, it might be a little bit of delay based on technology, but one of the things we're working on daily is management of the pipeline. We're seeing lead times go out. So one of the best things we do offer Qorvo, to go back to the original question, is the visibility of when they're going to need products and when, and fill that pipeline to make sure that the customers get it when they do.
Great. Well, it sounds like a good time to be in the industry.
I think so. Yeah. It's always a good time to be in the RF industry.
True.
Come on, Gary, you and I, we've done it too long. Where else would we go?
Right, exactly. Well, Greg, thanks for taking some time today to talk to me.
Always good to see you.
Great. From the 2018 International Microwave Symposium in Philadelphia, I'm Gary LaRue.